Okay, here it is, 3:40 in the afternoon, and my Delta Pro is at 100% charge. I don't have any solar input coming in right now, even though the panels are connected. The panels are in the shade right now, so they're not producing anything. And I only have a 39 watt draw. That's from these lights here. So there's two lights here and here, and then my LED here. The purpose of this video is to show that the batteries on this Delta Pro are not lasting very long. So if I turn the rest of the lights on in the shop, my draw is about 190 watts draw. And it says, the Delta Pro says it can only sustain that for 4 hours. And at a 200 watt draw, the Delta Pro should last all day, all night. And I'm finding that the batteries are running out. Last night, same thing, I had my lights on, and it was, I didn't look at the time, that's why I'm making this video. But everything shut off in the shop because the shop is only being run by the Delta Pro right now. So I'm going to periodically update this video as the day goes by to see how long these batteries will last. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes and already the Delta Pro is down to 94%. Okay, it's been about an hour. I've maintained the power draw to about 160 or 170 right now. I've got the TV going, so that took some power. And to compensate, I've turned off most all of the shop lights. I just have these two going to maintain that power draw. And we're down to 76%, and it says 3 hours left. But it's only been 1 hour. Okay, it's been 2 hours. Down to 27%, and only 1 hour left on the batteries. I have this set to shut off at 10%, so it probably won't last that 57 minutes. We'll see. Okay, it's 7:18 p.m. and the lights just went out. The whole thing shut down. %left. Got my flashlight here. Now I'll plug it in to the grid, to the power. If you can see, okay, I'm going to set this down and power it up. There we go. Now it's plugged into the grid power, Delta Pro, and then Delta Pro is powering the outlets and lights into the box, and the box is then powering the rest of the shop, which is all of this. So for this video, I'm going to go through the recalibration process. As Ecoflow told me, my Delta Pro here was only lasting 4 hours when I had only about 170 watt draw. It was actually 3.5 hours until the batteries got down to 10% and the unit shut off. I had it set at 10%. So I called Ecoflow and they told me to do a recalibration of the batteries, which only consists of unplugging the solar, turning the unit off, and allowing it to remain off for, she said, 1 to 2 hours, but I kept it off for almost a day, so overnight, and now the clock says 12:09, but it's in the morning right now. I just turned it on 9 minutes ago, so the clock reset for 12 o'clock. And I turned all of my lights on. All of my interior lights and my exterior lights are all on right now, and that's the only thing that's on. So my draw now is 330 watts. And when I first turned it on, it was 100% charge, and that's the other thing she told me, is make sure the battery is 100% charged before you turn it off. So it was at 100%, and the hours stated that I had 10 hours at that 330 watt draw, which would be 3,300 kilowatt hours out of the battery, which is much better than the 3.5 hours that I was getting the other night, and many of the previous nights. It's been getting worse and worse. The battery capacity has been going down and down until I finally called them and said, something is wrong. So I'm very happy just for turning it off and leaving it off overnight and then turning it back on. It's reporting now that I've got 9 to 10 hours at a 330 watt draw. That makes me feel good. So she said to allow the draw to completely deplete the batteries. So I went into the Delta Pro app and set it so that the unit shuts off when the batteries are at 0%. And now I will leave the lights on all day long and see if it actually lasts that 9 to 10 hours. And then she says do that, cycle that 2 or 3 times. So we'll see how this goes. Right now just the lights are on because I figure that's a slow and steady drain, instead of having the TV on that fluctuates, or running power tools, or anything else that might cause that drain and drain to fluctuate, I thought I'd just leave the lights on and let that drain or draw be constant. So we'll see what happens throughout the day. Okay, it's been an hour and we're looking good. The power draw is still at 330 and it's saying I have 9 hours left. So when I first turned this on with that 330 power draw, it said 10 hours. It's been an hour because the clock started at 12 o'clock when I turned the system on. So now we're at 12:59. So everything is looking good at this point. Okay, it's been 2 hours and 14 minutes, and we are on track. It says 8 hours left. The draw is still 330 watts. So the recalibration process is working very well so far. Okay, good news. It's been 9 hours and 36 minutes since I started this Ecoflow back up on 100% battery, and it's been about 130 watts draw consistently all day, and it still has 23% left and says 2 hours. So I would say that the Ecoflow battery capacity is definitely back to normal. So if you're having battery memory problems and not getting all the capacity out of your Ecoflow Delta Pro with the lithium iron phosphate battery, then all you have to do is turn it completely off. Well, charge it to 100%, disconnect the solar, disconnect anything that would charge it, and turn it off and leave it off for, I left mine off overnight, but the customer service lady, Jhoan, told me to leave it off for an hour or two. But anyway, she said to run it through a 2 or 3 cycles like this, but just the first time turning it off has assumably fixed it. So I'm going to let this run all night long and run the battery completely out. It'll shut off, and then tomorrow morning I'll probably connect it back to the solar and then let solar charge it back to 100%. I'll leave the inverter off tomorrow while it charges to 100% so it's not drawing while it's charging. And then maybe I'll put it through a second cycle, but tomorrow night I need to work in the shop anyway, so I'll probably just run the shop lights as I'm working out here tomorrow. So that's good news.